How's it going, everybody? I am the Texas Man. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit that bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on the Texas Man channel. Also, please head over to Twitch and follow me at Douglas447, no caps, no spaces, so you guys don't miss out on some really cool streams there. And with that, of course, we're continuing on with my book series. This is going to be The Island 2, The Creature, Part 1. Make sure you guys check out The Island 1. This is the second book in the Island trilogy. And this was written and completed in 2012. And not only did I end up writing this book, but I had a good friend of mine, Ted Stahl, end up help me write this book and of course helped me make the Island trilogy. Originally, I was only planning on making one of the Island books, but Ted Stahl encouraged me to do a sequel, and then I was like, okay, well, if I do a sequel, I kind of got to make it into a trilogy because this is how I operate. And I ended up making a trilogy, and I honestly have to say, I think I did a really great job. He and I did a really great job. Ted, if you're watching this, thank you again for pushing me to make this trilogy of books, and really do appreciate the love and support, man. So with that, of course, I will dive into the intro, and then we will continue reading on into chapter 1. So I hope you guys all enjoy. Introduction. Get ready to experience another one of the greatest books ever written by Douglas Armstrong as he presents the sequel to The Island with the help of his friend Ted Stahl. Return to the adventure as the survivors of Flight 193 actually crash on the island and go about their journey. Yet instead of returning home after Spike's death, they are forced to use what boat gas they have remaining to return to the cursed island. With no way of contacting rescue or being able to travel through time, the group is forced to realize they will have to live out their lives on the island. However, several years later, an earthquake rumbles the grounds of Beach Base and rises up a second island, a land bridge, a submarine, and more gold creature eggs. Questions begin to come to thought, such as what other creatures did Pirate Flint place on the second island? Is the submarine the pirate built usable? Did Kate Woodson actually drown in the plane crash? And who are the people that crashed in another new plane? Filled with old dinosaurs and titanic creatures from the island, and new ones such as vampires, zombies, a megashark, and a Komodo dragon, this story will keep you wondering when and if the group will at last find a way home. The only major problem that could hinder the group from leaving is not more Spinosauruses, but the creature. Can you devise a plan to escape? Chapter 1. Revisiting the Past. Year 1199. In the distance of the ship laid rock formations staggered about in the water. Soon my crew, my wife and I came around a blinding rock to see an island dazzling beautifully with its tropical trees mixed in with the sun going down in the background. It appeared like paradise to my wife Sue and my crew of fearless pirates. However, it was the perfect location to bury my gold treasure eggs from the rest of the world. I, Pirate Flint, ordered the longboats to be deployed into the shallow waters to lower the treasure into them and to head toward shore. We arrived on the island's warm sandy beach and set up a camp for the night. When the next day came about, I gave instructions to my pirate crew to go with Sue and me to bury the golden eggs in the dense jungle. 1 hour afterwards, I had found the spot I wanted them buried, and the digging with metal shovels began. While some of my crew continued to dig and place my golden treasure into the ground, I instructed others of my crew to go with Sue to scout the island and construct a large dock. I gave Sue a paper with diagrams and informed her to have my men build a dock in this object in the water with the dock. Sue and the group of pirates left while I stayed behind and watched my hard work be placed underground. Days passed on and eventually became weeks before Sue and the pirates returned from their mission. "It is done, Flint," said Sue. "Great work, my love," I said. "The dock and the submarine are completed, yet I have only placed 20% of my treasure on this island, I continued. Suddenly, a crash sounding was heard by all the pirates, and the ground beneath everyone's feet was rumbling. Flint looked at Sue and the rest of his crew and realized that the island was in the middle of an earthquake and was about to go underwater. Everyone leave everything behind and return to the longboats, I ordered. The group of 50 pirates left the pile of golden eggs unburied and the submarine dock with the submarine unprotected, while only thinking of leaving the island. After dashing through the jungle of the island, the pirates raced into the longboats and watched as the island sank underwater. "Look!" said Sue, pointing her right hand towards where the island sank. The group of pirates looked far past the sunken island and saw, in the distance, another island. "That is where we'll place my remaining treasure," I said, not knowing what was going to occur in 2 days when the year became 1200. June 23rd, 1996. That is the date that Flight 193 crashed. The time was about 7:30 a.m. When the plane crashed into the ocean, the plane quickly filled with water. All the exits were open to allow us humans to escape. People began to race out of the plane before it sank to its watery grave. I, Jack Woodson, undid my buckle and looked over to see my wife and that she could not release hers. I struggled to break Kate free. "You must go," said Kate, but I was not about to leave my wife to die. Then I heard a loud scream coming from outside of the plane. "Hey you, get out of there, this plane is about to sink," said a man that appeared to be one of the 2 pilots. "I'm not leaving," I said. The pilot left the exit and began to swim toward shore. "Jack, you must leave. It's time for you to let go," said Kate. The water level was covering half of the plane. The water was so high that it was touching my belly button, and I was only a 6-foot tall man. If I was to leave my wife and escape this plane, my window of opportunity was disappearing rapidly. I looked at my wife and knew she wanted me to live on. "I don't want to let go," I said. "Jack, God has chosen my time to leave behind this world and join him," said Kate. "I don't want to be left behind. I want to come with you," I said. "One day you'll perish from this planet and we'll be together again," said Kate. I looked deeply into Kate's eyes and touched her hair for the last time. I raced out of the plane and began to swim toward shore. When I arrived at the beach, the other survivors helped me on my feet. The man that told me to leave the plane informed me that I had done the best that I could have. I watched as the tail end of the plane sunk into the water to begin its course to the bottom of the ocean to remain in its watery grave. Kate continued to struggle with breaking free from her buckle entrapment and started taking in water. Suddenly, a strong underwater current traveled through the plane and moved it forcefully through the water south of where Beach Base was being made. Kate continued holding her breath, hoping the current would lift the plane up out of the water and give her a chance for air. However, instead of it rising above the water, the plane was freed from the current and smashed into the ocean's bottom. Kate braced the impact and realized her buckle was no longer trapping her in the sunken plane. Kate swam out of the plane, above the water, and gulped for air. Kate Woodson looked around to not see anyone from the plane nearby or on the beach. She swam ashore on the island's warm sandy beach and realized the underwater current pushed the plane a great distance away, south from the rest of the survivors. Kate rested for a brief time and decided to travel inland to locate help. For hours on end she walked and walked, finding no signs of civilization or any wildlife. Eventually, Kate came into an area of the island where the weather changed quickly from warm to freezing. Kate continued to walk into the bitter cold area of the island until she saw a gigantic mountain made of ice and snow. Polar Mountain. "I am so lost," said Kate. So many questions were rattling through Kate Woodson's head, and the answers would soon come. Kate ventured east towards the beach and came to a point where it was neither extremely warm nor cold. Kate decided that instead of wasting her energy of finding help, to build a cafeteria-like building right next to an abandoned pickup truck, which had a rocket launcher with 4 missiles, grenades, and a shotgun. The future. Kaboom! It was done. The carrier sunk to its watery grave due to the impact of the torpedoes, and Spike was killed because of the bomb I, Jack Woodson, activated. The 6 of us looked at the island to remember the events that took place there, such as the adventures we had battling dinosaurs and titanic creatures, the mysteries we discovered about the TEC, Sue and Flint, the terrorist, and the disappointment we realized that the time machine that Sue built would never work. We also remembered the lives were lost on that island so that we could have a chance to live another day. The person that saved me was Chad from a polar bear on Polar Mountain. Lastly, before we left, we remembered the souls that died before ever reaching the island because they either drowned in the plane or were eaten by a hungry shark. Tears rolled down my face when I looked towards the area where I thought the plane sunk to remember my wife Kate before she drowned in the plane. The engines of the small boat started, and I, the driver, realized the boat was low on fuel. "This can't be happening," said Jack Woodson. "What's wrong?" asked John. "This boat has only enough fuel to return to the island," said Jack. "What is the major problem with that?" asked Sawyer. "Because I am a dreamer, and I saw the events that would take place on the island before. Yet, after Spike's death, we were supposed to have enough fuel to be found by helicopters," said Jack. The group realized they had no choice but to return to the cursed island. Jack drove the boat to the island and ran into the sandy beach near Beach Base. "What now?" asked Sawyer. "I am ordering, as this group's leader, that no one is to leave Beach Base without my say-so first. If we are to be rescued, I want us to be together when it happens," said Jack. Everyone agreed with Jack's rule about never traveling deep into the island's jungle, and was given a task to either help in building a many-leveled cabin and a shaft with an underground tunnel in case of the need to leave Beach Base and reach the other side of the island in an emergency. Jack Woodson, a 26-year-old man, John Russell, a hunter with a dozen knives and 38 years old, Bobby and Nick Hayes, twin brothers, scientists and 35 years old, Sawyer, the father of Chris, a doctor and 45 years old, and Chris Miller, the son of Sawyer and 10 years old, all realized that they had no way off the island and no way of rescue. The group of 6 machine-gun-armed humans began their work on either the cabin or the shaft/tunnel. And that's going to do it for me, guys. That was part 1 of the Island 2, The Creature. Look forward to part 2 and the other parts coming out very soon in the near future. You guys have a great day.